All right, my loves. Hello and welcome to an exclusive video for the paid subscribers here. So I've been wanting to do this video for a while, which probably means only 48 hours, but it's been coming in for a couple of days. So I'm very excited to sit down and record this for all of you so that you can receive this activation, this message, this knowing. And it's all about alignment. And alignment is so huge, my loves, because it affects every single thing in our life. It affects our health, our wealth, what we're calling in, our business, our what we're attracting, even our social interactions. Like alignment is everything, my loves. Think of the times that you've gone out in the world and you haven't been aligned. I'll say in your highest self. You've been pissed off, or you've been shut down, or you've been closed off. What has happened in those moments? What happens is that usually we get reflected back to us that which we are being. Okay, so the people at the deli counter, they're rude to you, they're pissed off, they're negative, right? It's not always, but think about if you're going out in the world that way and then it's simply being reflected back to you. Okay. And if you're shut down, closed off, nothing comes in. I've been that myself. I've gone out in the world for a lunch or a glass of wine or whatever. And sometimes I have to be in my own little bubble so that I can work and just enjoy that. But other times I can tell I'm shut down, I'm closed off, and nobody's approaching me. I'm not getting gifted or blessed with anything. Like literally the heart is closed. And vice versa is also true. I can totally tell when my heart is open and I'm open to experiences, to having banter with people, to playfulness, to fun, all of that, because that crosses my path. And then I have so much fun and so much laughter and so much joy with the people out in the world, whether it's the person behind the deli counter, whether it's someone at the Starbucks, whether it's just someone that I'm passing when I'm biking and they yell something out, right? It's so fun. It's so fun. Yeah, that actually happened the other day when I was biking, and there was this man who was biking in front of me, and I saw him, and there was a man walking, and then I was there on my bike. And so when I passed the man walking, he called out to the man in front of him, and he goes, "Oh, here's your Cinderella. She's chasing after you," or something so funny like that. And I started speaking Spanish to him, and we had this quick little banter right as I was passing, you know? It was so fun, my loves. And so we're not always like that though, because we're human, right? And we have stuff that affects us. But when we are, you can see how much fun this life is, right? And you get blessed and gifted so many beautiful things because people are basically saying like, thank you for bringing your energy here. Thank you for bringing your beauty here. Okay. One quick other story, because I like to relate it to things, is I remember one day I went to do a workout. This was like a year and a half ago, and I wore lipstick. And I went to the Planet Fitness, and something popped up like about my dues that I needed to pay them, or something was there. And the worker there called the manager over, and it was a man, and he looked at me and he did something on the computer and he goes, "Oh, you're good." And so he had like cleared my membership dues for the month or whatever that was on there. And I was like, "Thank you so much." And I knew it was because I not only had the lipstick on, but I was just bringing beauty into that place. And it was like him telling me, "Thank you. And we got you." Got it? I wasn't expecting it. I didn't need it, but it was much, well received and very grateful for it. And so just think of those times in your life. And if you're not there right now, you can come back into alignment. That's what I want you to know. Okay. And so the other thing that I also want you to know is alignment beats hustle any day of the week. Okay. And I know this, and I heard this again, I think it was on a Teal Swan video this week. And she talks about people who hustle, hustle, hustle. And it's going to look like they're further ahead than you. And they are. They move further ahead than you. Okay? But the minute that you get into alignment and start moving, you're going to go way beyond where they're at because they're still hustling. And alignment takes you further than hustle ever would. I know that for sure, my loves. I've seen it. I've seen when I've done videos in complete alignment and true frequency and how they've landed with people. And also the opposite is true because I still showed up to do videos when I wasn't completely aligned because I felt like, come on, keep showing up. People are expecting you to show up every day. I still feel that way. But I also do my part to try to be in my highest alignment before getting onto the videos. Okay. And so that being said, though, think about that with yourself. Okay. We live in hustle culture, right? So are you hustling? You will get somewhere. We all get somewhere when we hustle. Okay. But you will get so much further by being in alignment, by being in the rhythm that is right and true for you. And then the question becomes, how do I know what that rhythm is? You know by tuning in. You know by saying, my current structure and how my morning routine is, my current routine, it's working well for me. Or there's a part in the day where my energy really lags, where I'm completely depleted and exhausted. So let's switch it up, right? Because the goal is, honestly, it is to live in alignment. 89, mine is over 90% of the time, because why wouldn't I? That's where all the amazing stuff happens, and the beauty and the joy and everything. And we can live that way. We should be living that way, even when challenges come in, even when we hear about something happening with a loved one. Like, we don't have to take that on. We can still stay in our alignment. Of course, no matter what is happening in the world around us, we have to, my loves, we have to be able to, okay? Or at least to get back there as soon as we can, okay? So all that being said, for those of you who have followed me for a while, and some of you are clients, you know that I teach about movement and dancing, okay? That is incredibly important to come back into alignment. And it's not forced, but it's to get back into your flow and into the life force energy flowing through you so that it's not blocked up, so that nothing is stopping it. That's what we want, okay? So we want to move from one task, close it out, to the next task, close it out, with the energy continuing to flow, okay? There's nothing that we put in that drained it or disturbed it or disrupted it. We just allow the energy to keep flowing, okay? Which is why sometimes when you jump on a phone call or a meeting, like literally you can only be on for 15 or 20 minutes, okay? Because after that you start getting drained, or after that it's just too much mindless talking anyway, right? And so you have to know what your boundaries are with that stuff and adjust accordingly, because if you jump on, this has happened to me before in business, a phone call, you're lit up, you're vibrant, your life force energy is the most important commodity, precious commodity that you have here, and your time, right? And so I jumped onto what I thought was going to be a 15-minute phone call. It ended up an hour, and I was completely drained at the end of it, and it didn't need to be an hour. And I told that person, I told that man, I said, this has completely drained me, so we need to do it differently next time. And he's like, oh, all my business phone calls are an hour. And I'm like, that doesn't work for me, because I wasn't willing to give him, and I'm not willing to give anybody, my life force energy. It needs to keep flowing. So I'm only going to do meetings and work. And I haven't in the past. I've totally allowed, other work and other things to interrupt this. But moving forward in a way where it keeps flowing, right? Because the mindless chatter and the lagging too long on the phone and all of that, like, it just slows things down. It just stops things up, and it's not necessary, my loves. Even if people are used to it being that way, you get to adjust to what is in alignment for you, and be bold and courageous enough to speak that. This is what works for me. This is what doesn't. I can't do that, right? Because again, your life force energy is your most precious commodity, and you need it at full force to be in your truest alignment. Okay. So now I want you to think, when are you in your truest alignment and when are you not? Okay. And what I want you to think about is the people you're around, what you're doing, if you've done your non-negotiables in the morning, like what contributes to your full alignment. Okay. And then I want to remind you, and I'll tell you what mine is, just so you know, it is my non-negotiables. It's always a morning workout and movement. Always. It's always some sort of nutrition. And if I'm cleansing, then it's a hot tea and some coffee. Okay. Because we need so much less food. I'll say this again, as I always do, than we think we do. All right. And so that being said, it's that, or it is the superfood nutrition. Okay. If it's a day where you're not cleansing or fasting, right? And spiritual practice, writing, and it's always in between doing my videos or doing my work or seeing clients, I'm always moving. I'm always dancing. And yes, I lay down and stretch and meditate and that, but it's like 15 to 20 minutes usually. Got it? Because again, it's to keep the energy flowing. And sometimes if you lay down for a 2-hour nap, it slows things down. It stops things up. Of course, if you're exhausted, you might need that. But that's where the tuning in and taking the pause and going, what do I truly need right now? Okay. And if your life force energy is constantly stopping or constantly getting depleted or constantly getting blocked up, I want you to message me. I want you to reach out to me, because that is something that absolutely we want to work with so that it continues to flow through you no matter what you're doing. Okay. No matter if your job drains you, there's ways to work around that. There's tools, there's techniques, there's things that you can do to protect your life force energy so that it's not getting drained. Okay. But again, back to alignment. Are you in your full alignment today? How do you feel? Where's your energy? How do you look? I can always tell in the mirror. Okay. If I'm in my full alignment, or if I'm drained, or if my body isn't feeling right, or if my eyes are puffy, or if the glow isn't there, all the things, my loves. And then we want to look at what is contributing to that. What is attributing to that? And then either cut those things off, disconnect from them, get them out of our life, or make the changes necessary so that you can feel good and in alignment 90% of the time. Okay. And I call it the home frequency, but your alignment beats hustle every single time. Do not forget that. Okay. So that is my message for you today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for receiving that. Like I said, questions, comments, insights below, reach out to me. If you do not have the energy flowing through you in the way that is optimal for you every single day, or that you can hold it, or that you can hold your truest frequency, my loves, it's not that it's hard to hold our truest frequency. It's that we have things that are coming in that are distorting it. And that's what we want to look at. Our truest frequency is true to us. Okay. It's letting go of anything that is taking us away from that. All right, my loves. Thank you for being here. I will see you all again very soon. Let me know how this message lands for you. If you want more tools and techniques, or even a one-on-one, of course, reach out to me. Much love, many blessings. I will see you again very soon.